Hey everyone, welcome back to another gameplay commentary match. This is going to be a ranked match, Celestial 2 and 3. We finally made Celestial 2, which is awesome. And in this game, I just kind of want to be, showcasing some more Cloak and Dagger gameplay. I feel like I've been doing a lot of Invisible Woman recently, and I honestly think she's like one of my favorites right now, and she's awesome in the current meta, but I feel like I've been like lacking on some of the other characters. So I'm going to post up some more Cloak and Dagger gameplay, and I kind of want these videos, like even though these are like ranked matches, I kind of want them to have some sort of overarching theme to them. So like earlier on, I posted a video on how to deal with dive. And so for this video, I think the theme for the most part is just going to be why you should be picking Cloak and Dagger every game in the current meta, that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, and we're back. We just skipped that little portion of it so we can get right into the game. But yeah, like I think Cloak and Dagger is just probably the best healer right now, at least in this current meta. And so you should just be looking to pick her every single game. I usually try to pick Sue if I can, but if nobody else is picking Cloak and Dagger, then I just go ahead and lock her in because she's just that good. In any case, though, we're just going to push the card here. Nothing too new, nothing too crazy. I love it when my allies are grouped like this because you can just get a really good E on them, increase their healing, give them a burst of healing, and then you just have so much AoE healing. There's something in this game I call like heal efficiency, where it's like if your teammates are grouped, because there's so much AoE healing, with heal efficiency, you can easily stack up your ult and heal everybody at once. So that I love it when people are actually like grouped up together because it just makes my healing so much easier to get out. Like my job so much easier. Fortunately, we died the Moon Knight right there, but it is what it is. We're at the beginning here. My team's still pushing up, which is nice. Nothing too crazy going on here. We're just kind of doing what we're doing. One thing to note is and I've said this kind of in the past, and I do repeat on some of these videos, especially for people that are new to this sort of series, but you want to heal your DPS. So one thing that you don't want to tunnel vision on are your tanks. Like, of course, your tanks need a lot of healing, right? I mean, they're tanking everything, so you want to keep them healthy, you want to keep them alive. But your DPS, I think, are the main drivers when it comes to killing people for the most part, right? Unless you have a tank that's hard carrying, whatever the case. I'm just talking about the general sense. So your DPS are mostly going to be the ones that are killing other people. And so you want to keep them alive to be able to do that. We got our Cloak ult up, and we're going to go ahead and ult aggressively here, but not too aggressively. So the reason why I decided to turn around right here, and this is important to note, is because they have their Cloak ult. And the thing about it is if we're trading Cloak ults, say we're doing it at the same time, whatever the case, the main objective here, the main goal is the convoy, right? Where you got to push up the convoy. They want to stop the convoy. And so if I just put up my Cloak ult forward right there and I don't double back with it, what happens is they put their Cloak ult forward, which is going to go to our convoy. And then now all of a sudden they're just getting all this use out of their Cloak ult, and we're not getting any use out of ours because we have to push the convoy, if that makes sense. So that's why we double back right there, to make sure that the convoy can be pushed. I think that's one thing to always kind of keep in mind if you are trading Cloak ults, is the first person to Cloak ult typically is at the disadvantage, right? Because the second person to Cloak ult kind of just gets to decide where they want to go with it. And as long as their team is following that Cloak ult, they should just win that Cloak ult trade, because theirs is going to end later than yours is. And so there, because it's on the convoy, I have to kind of go back to the convoy. Here we try to kill onks whenever we can. It's important to note, as like Dagger, your autos don't really do that much damage, so whenever there's onks, just switch over to Cloak stance and go ahead and try to kill them with Cloak. It's way easier than shooting an entire arsenal of daggers at it to kill one onk. Good Luna ult by us though, I think, and we're going to push up here. Just want to make sure we're healing everybody. We get really good blinds. Always want to make sure that you're blinding people whenever you can. The other thing about it too is it increases the damage they take by 20%, which is huge. So that's really, really good. We get a great strange ult here, and in hindsight, I didn't really need the Cloak ult there. Sometimes it can get a little mixed up because I don't really know how hard we're winning the fight. Strange and I seem to have ulted at the same time. If I would have known he was going to get a crazy ult like that, I probably would have held my Cloak ult. But honestly, it's typically fine. Like, Cloak has one of the easier ults in my opinion because she gets it up so much quicker and you get to do so much with it that if you have like a mess up of a Cloak ult or whatever, it's not as bad as say like a Luna ult messing up, that kind of jazz, in my opinion, because you can just get it back up so fast. In any case, so that was kind of a weird portal play, but we ended up getting him, and then I kind of called here to actually not kill this Strange, and then I was like, just kill him, who cares? But there, in those cases, if you're really trying to maximize, Strange is in such a bad position that, well, actually, no, now that I think about it, no, you kind of have to kill him because he's going to stop the convoy, isn't he? Okay, never mind. But in general, right, like sometimes you want to stagger people, and so if he's not on the convoy there, for example, it would actually be a really, really good stagger to you know, to just kind of deal with them, and that way it makes it hard for the enemy to play the game because they want to play when their range is up, right? They want to play with all 6. So here we're just going to push up a little bit. We want to get a little bit aggressive with our E whenever we can, and then kind of back up here like we're doing, especially off the Cloak ult. Focus on healing, focus on getting our ults up. Great Magneto ult. I mean, that Magneto ult right there kind of seals the deal. The second I saw that, I was like, okay, we just won this game. Or at the very least, we just won this this attack round. But and that's actually another thing I kind of wanted to sort of like briefly touch up on real quick, but let's go over this fight first if there is a fight. Actually, no, I think we just get this kind of for free. No, Magneto touched it. They did contest a little bit. We're just going to ult aggressively here. We don't need to ult on cart. We can be like a kind of like a DPS main in a sense with Cloak and Dagger if we're allowed to ult aggressively because we can't die and we could just like kill their healers. So that's one thing that you should be doing is ulting way more aggressively with Cloak and Dagger if you can. Most of the time you can. It's typically good rule of thumb to be able to do so. Sometimes though, like you kind of have to ult passively a little bit if your team's getting ran down. But what I was going to say before that fight started was that I think this is actually more of an attack-oriented map. At least from my experience playing this map. And I love this map, by the way. Like, I absolutely love this map. Invisible Woman on this map is crazy awesome. She's crazy good. But I used to think it was defense-oriented when it first came out because I was kind of, like, getting crushed on the offense. But as I started playing it more and more, I noticed that attackers were just winning. They were just winning way more. So I do think this is more of an attack-oriented map. And, yeah, I mean, I think it's just... I don't really know why. I think it's because a lot of the height you can actually destroy. For example, this thing to my right, you can shoot that robot and shoot that height and actually like destroy it. If you don't destroy it, the enemy defense team or the defensive team can actually stay up there and make it really hard to push around that corner. But yeah, for the most part, it feels like it's just attack oriented. This part, you know, defense kind of has height, but it's also easy for the offense to get on height because there's a lot of ways to get up here, right? You got a ramp to my right over here that like leads up from their spawn room. So there's like a lot of different things, a lot of different spots you can go to and get people off height. But for the most part, yeah, I think this is more attack oriented. So whenever we do super well in the attack round, I don't think like, hey, this game is won. You know what I mean? But if we do super well in the defense round, like if we stop them at first point and then we have attack, I'm thinking in my head like, okay, we should just win this here, hopefully. But we're going to kind of sit back here a little bit. You could also play high ground if you want to in this area. I typically like playing down here because, again, I like more heal efficiency. Or rather, I like being able to heal my allies easier so they don't complain when they die that I couldn't heal them because of yada. And sometimes up top I get flanked and all that kind of stuff. So it's just like, okay, if I play down here, at least I'm with the group. Playing up height here would be completely fine if you want to do that. You just got to watch out for the flank. Like I said, people like to come up on that ramp from their spawn room, especially like Psylocke and stuff like that, and just kind of flank around and try to get you off height. But here is completely fine. We're just Eing in and trying to make sure everybody is healthy. Nothing too crazy going on. Positioning backwards, so they're doing an aggressive Cloak ult. We end up Luna ulting. You should typically always want the Cloak to ult first, and I was about to ult. But then she had Luna ult, and so my brain told me, like, no, wait, stop, you know, let's calm it down and wait. So we know that Luna ult's about to end. We're going to ult a little bit aggressively here, but we don't want to go too crazy. And I noticed my team is still back, so I was like, okay, like, this is kind of weird. Maybe I can kill this Mantis. And I'm not being able to kill the Mantis, but I think we're fine. Yeah, get a good Magneto bubble. No, we end up dying to Boot Knight L, unfortunately. So a little bit of an aggressive play by me. Definitely did not have to do that, didn't have to die. But I do like to be aggressive with this character, and it's kind of like a risk-reward kind of thing, right? Like, it's extra risky, but if I do kill the Mantis there, I mean, that's huge, right? Like, that's a healer down. Anytime you kill anybody in this game, especially if it's a healer, killing a healer is like getting bonus points, right? Whenever, like, someone dies like a tank, that's like, cool, a tank's dead, but if a healer dies, everybody's screaming, they have one healer, go, you know? So, go a little bit crazy. Also, luckily, too, this Magneto is just, like, not saving his ult for our ults, which is good. So whenever I, like, if I'm playing C&D and I see that, I'm like, cool, I'm just going to let my ult rip next time I get it. I don't have to worry about mag ult at all. Strange gets one of the strangest ults of all time, but that's all right. Great Luna ult by our guy. And then, yeah, we're just going to go in and try to defend this point. Looks like their Cloak ult is down. Loki Lamp is down too, which is huge. Loki Lamp's a really big ability, so, you know, people typically like to call that out. You should be calling that out. It's pretty much like a mini heal, or a mini, like, healer ult, you know, that lasts for a few seconds. We're going to go ahead and Cloak ult here, though. again, we put a little line in the back just because we want our team to play on that if they need to, and then we went more aggressively with it because we want to, obviously stop them at this card a little bit. And yeah, it looks like we're just kind of farming here. Kill the Loki lamp. Always want to make sure you kill those whenever you can. I think we get a great strange ult there. That was actually massive. Oh my goodness, that was huge. I think this guy said he ulted like 3 times in one fight as strange this game, like this fight right here. I think he like said that in comms. I was like, what? 3 times? It's insane. In any case, though, yeah, I mean, we're just chilling. Nothing too crazy happening. They get a good port, though. That's one thing you have to always, realize and recognize is that if they have a strange, or even if they don't have a strange, always think about the portal coming in. So sometimes, you don't want to create all this massive space off cart because of that. And that portal actually ends up saving them this point, I believe. Like, we just kind of got fried there, so we have to back up a little bit.
Did I CP back here?
I don't know if we have time. Can someone touch?
It's going to back up. I think somebody called for a touch if anybody could touch it because he wanted the strange port in, but we couldn't. We were kind of spread right there anyways. I think that's fine to just kind of give that up. We've already, like, created so much... like, we already have it, so if anything, we go into OT, so I'm fine with, like, giving up points like that sometimes. But we get our ult here, and we are just ulting aggressively onto their cart. Again, sometimes what I like to do with the ults a lot is just try to get into their backline with it and just start killing people, right? Like, Bucky's dead. We're killing the Loki here. Like, I like to kill their healers as a healer whenever I have Cloak ult. They end up ulting. We get great AoE healing here. That's what I mean by heal efficiency. Thank you so much, group. And we're just chilling, come back over, grab the little health pack that I totally knew was up there. That's the whole reason why I climbed there. Yeah, we're just vibing, play inside this bubble. Want to play inside Dagger's bubble as much as you can. I typically like to save it for myself, especially if they have dive, but I typically like to save it for myself a lot if I'm getting poked out. But if I notice I'm not really getting poked out because maybe my positioning's better or they're just not being as aggressive to our backline, I'll go ahead and throw my bubble more aggressively onto my front line, my allies, just to help them out. That's another cool thing to note about Dagger's bubble is that it doesn't respect line of sight. So if you like throw it at a wall or like a Groot wall, for example, the bubble will actually go through the Groot wall. Like it'll actually go to its radius, like right here, for example, on Convoy. So it's perfect to just throw it onto the Convoy if you want to. Their Cloak ults, I'm ulting a little bit aggressively here, but this is kind of what I mean. See how my team had the back up there? But we should have been playing forward on my ult anyways. But you see how my team had the back up there? And so that's why I kind of like double back because it's like, hey, I want to stay on this Convoy. Get a great right click onto the strange ult. And yeah, we just kind of stop him right there. You always want to try to see if you can stay in Cloak stance whenever Strange is next to you, or if you think he's going to have ult, just so you can easily right-click it. Sometimes I'm just not able to get it off because he comes from the air and I don't see him, and I try to stance switch as fast as possible, but like the animation times are just a little bit too long, and he ends up getting his ult off. So the best thing to do is like, just try to expect it coming, right? If he has an ult in a little bit and he's getting close to you, he probably has ult, so maybe hop in the Cloak stance. But it can be a little tough too because Dagger's the one that heals, right? So you kind of want us to also like be healing your allies. So it's kind of have to just like judge the situation a little bit. Right here, I thought my Luna was gonna ult, and that's why I played like on that as aggressively as I did because she has ult, and she ended up not ulting for some reason. So like one thing I do as a healer is I try to check, and this doesn't always work out, but it's important to know whenever your other healers are gonna have ults so you don't overlap, right? There is like some sort of hierarchy to the ulting system. Dagger, Cloak and Dagger wants to ult first. Then typically I like Luna ulting second. And then I like Invisible Woman ulting last just because I like to ult. I like to use Invisible Woman ult whenever they don't have healer ults. Because I feel like hers is the worst when it comes to countering other healer ults. In any case though, yeah, right there I pressed tab and I was like, Luna has ult. And she's going to ult, but she ended up not doing it, and they got some space because of it. So, but we're able to aggressively go on the Convoy here, and this is actually perfect. Just killing their Hela. I mean, like, this is why, like, I love this character. This character can just do so much. Like, we're just being so oppressive because of one single ability, and the fact that our autos, like, don't miss, which is awesome. So, we're able to stop them there, which is awesome. But again, just try to keep tabs on your healer ults, like literally press tab, keep tabs on their ults, and make sure you try not to overlap with your ult. Sometimes I still do it anyways by accident, just to press of the button. But in any case, though, yeah, that's going to be the game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned a lot of stuff, and hope you guys had a great time. Until the next one, see ya.